Zoe, I'm going to go do a garden tour. I'll be right back, but I'm going to do it very different this time. At least before the rain comes in. They say it's going to rain anytime. Now be good, and don't worry, I'll be back. This is the garden tour. We're in the middle of November. I'm going to do it a little differently today. We're due for rain anytime, they're saying, and it's just been a crazy week. But anyways, all is good. Hi, it is Robbie from Southern California, and I'm going to start by doing a short walk through Gary's garden. He's in the middle of taking off. We have got so many birds in this yard now, wild birds, that he is now buying feed from the feed store in 100-pound sacks. I'm going to have to do a whole video on that. So he's taken off to do that, and I thought I'm going to come down and walk through his garden. You know, he knows the name of this, and I don't. What I'm going to have to do is go through with him soon. I know he's been busy, and get the name and talk about what is growing. He actually tells me he thinks his garden doesn't look good. Are you kidding me? Look at this. This is a food forest, and everything in here you can eat pretty much. And that's what's so amazing. And it's just doing it on its own. He sometimes doesn't come down here for days. This he cooked up the other day, and this tastes like lettuce when you grow it. I'm going to say it's like Bella or something, but I don't remember the name. If I get the name when I'm putting this up, I'll put it across. It's a type of plant that gets quite big, as you can see, but you cook it up or you steam it. And not lettuce, spinach. I misspoke, though you can chop it up, I believe, and eat it raw. And then, of course, here he's got all his sweet potatoes just taking off, and he still has nasturtiums back here. Look at this. I don't know how far we can go. I could go slowly so we can look back here. I haven't been back here for a while. The bananas, he's got sow thistle. See this grass? There's a whole story behind that grass, how he got that. This is a grass that finches eat. And this is what's bringing in a lot of the different birds, like the pintail whites. And now we've got, oh my gosh, we don't know how many dozens of spice finches. They hang on that and they eat it. He actually brought that in. It's not invasive in any way, so it doesn't really do anything but grow in clumps. Let's keep going. I'm going to go just a little bit. I don't want to crush any of his plants. Let's take a look at the back side, because I don't know if I can get out of here if I went through there. So this on the ground, everything you see now pretty much, let me see, is all sweet potato. He's got nasturtium and sweet potato growing here. Oh, there's a pond back here. Look at that, under the fig tree. I think he's trying to get rid of the fig trees. What you should do is put your questions. You can put comments. Oh, we love comments. I may not get to all of them, but you know, suddenly you'll get an answer, and it's been there for months, because we get a lot. But the thing is, I read through with them. It's very, fast to read through them, much harder to go, answer questions. And so I'm trying to do a little bit of both, especially if there's a whole bunch of them the same, and then I can come back and do a video on that. But this is all sweet potatoes growing here. There's his bananas with a hummingbird's nest. And then he's got passion fruit all along the top. It's just amazing what he's got in here. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's keep going out of here and see what's further down. Oh, a spider web. Spider webs are good for a lot of plants. Keep in mind they get rid of a lot of your insects. This is was not planned. I just grabbed my phone and thought, look at the passion fruit. All the way to the top, and boy, has he been eating it. He's been sharing it with a neighbor because the neighbor's crazy about it. I'm not real big on this passion fruit, but anyways, I wasn't planning on doing this, and I thought, let's do it differently, because my garden, I'm working on things that you really can't see. I'm composting, I'm cleaning. It doesn't matter if I clean. I go pick a brown leaf and another brown leaf shows up. I don't know if I'm even going to walk through here today. But if you ask questions, then I'll know when I come down here with him. Here's sage. Look at the Malabar spinach. Look how big those leaves are, and purple. Then I'll know what to ask him, and then he can answer them. See, here's more of this grass. Tiny birds love this. You know who else loves it? The guineas. They wait for me to bring this for them. See the tiny seeds? Like I said, there's a story behind that. And if I went into the story now, it'd be too long. Oh my gosh. Fig leaf gourd. I'm going to have to do something about this. He's got small ones and big ones. Oh, look at the size of this. Look. And yet I still have not cooked one yet. He did. I wasn't crazy about it. I don't like the taste. Okay, I'm going to come back with him because he's got everything wild. Look at this. This is dragon fruit, and you got to be careful because if I walk into it, there's another one. We've been eating dragon fruit every day, 1 to 2 a night. It's just wonderful. And if I walk into it, it bites. They've got, you know, thorns. Look at that. So I can see right now he's got different cannas growing through there. I know he's got ginger and turmeric down here. He's got, let's see, passion fruit. There's pepinos, tons of greens, purple tree colored. He's got some sort of, looks like a nectarine tree in there. I can't walk through here, so I'm not even going to try because it's all overhanging. The fig leaf gourd is everywhere. That is an amazing plant. If we can come up with a recipe that's good, like, oh wow, it's just fabulous, then this is the plant to grow. And the reason is when the weather cools down like now, it doesn't die back. You've got your plant waiting. And when spring comes, it bursts back to life. It has a root underneath the ground that just stays dormant all winter. Unlike zucchini and different squash, they're gone. When the plant dies back, it's gone, but not the fig leaf gourd. The other name they call it is shark fin melon because certain cultures make a soup out of it and they claim it tastes like shark fin. Probably something I wouldn't eat personally, just me personally. And that's why I'm kind of having a problem on what to do with it because it's kind of got like a sweet, but then it's not. And I'm going to have to sit down and try it again and then analyze and see what I can do. Yeah, this is going to be too hard to get through and I don't want to step on too many of his plants. I don't know. I can't go that way either. Let's try for a minute because this is fascinating to me. See, this is shark fin melon and it just keeps going and going. And where the stem touches the ground at certain points, it can set root. Now here it's very dry, but if it finds damp soil, it will set roots. And then when the vine dies back, behind me will grow next spring. And if there was a root there, it would go that way next spring. So he's got all the totes. You can barely see them. Look at this. Let me see if I can take one more step and then get out of here safely. Is this amazing? It's literally a jungle of food. I just love it. Okay, let's go take a walk. Let's go up to my garden. But think about questions. You may want to know what he's growing, how long he's grown it, what he likes best, what is easy to grow, what is not easy to grow. You know, what challenges he's had. I know he's had a lot of different challenges in here. I know he's changing up things. So there's other thoughts he's thinking of doing. Let's step outside and go look at his tunnels. Oh, I hear the little bush tits. They're looking for probably little tiny insects. Oh, look at this. Celery right here on the ground. This is the red celery. Okay, let's go out the gate here. Look at this elephant food here. It's got his strawberries growing all over the ground. Let's go over here. Now he put the gate up here to keep the rabbits out because as you know, they'll do a real number on your garden. I have rabbits in my garden, but they're not doing too much damage. Let's look here. It's got Swiss chard in there, but I don't think he planted it. Probably came up on its own. This is a flower. I'm not sure. It looks like sage. I don't think it's sage. No, it's not sage. And he's got his tomatoes. Now here, he had a big challenge, and he's thinking that what might have happened here is the soil is too dry. And on top of that, the reason it's dry is the trees are pulling the moisture. So when he waters, the trees are taking, he may have to do more container gardening. Look at this. Oh, this is a new bay. Okay. So this way, if he does more container gardening, at least like a layer like that, see how it's off the ground? You can hold water in there and then you can dig around. There's ways of getting rid of roots, but we have so many different types of pepper trees and they just take so much. Look, he still has apples. I know I saw some big apples on the top, but I can't see them now. I saw it when I was up above. It's got a few apples left. Let's look. Oh my gosh. You know, some of you might be saying, why is there so many? You know why there's so many? And this is why we're going to look at the size of this. It's like a huge watermelon. Oh my gosh. The reason there's so many is these things do not decay. Nature doesn't seem to take them back. They will sit. I have one in the house sitting on the shelf since last year. So if we could figure out what to do with it that we really like, this is the greatest food because you can grow it and hold it and use it in 6 months or a year from now. It looks as good as the day I picked it. Because I don't know if you can see, but there's tiny birds all through here. Look, 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 look. Hear them? I really hate disturbing them. They're in the tree right now. Those are bush tits, and they're picking around looking for their morning breakfast because the sun is just coming up. I'm trying to do this before the rainstorm comes in. But we still have sun. See, more dragon fruit through here. Then he's got a lot of different berries. I think he's got different raspberries, blackberries growing. These are new banana plants he planted. So he's moving things. Oh, look, he's got another type of squash here. And then he's got all his totes. We're not in the tunnel. We're on the outside of the tunnel. This is where he grows the asparagus. And boy, does he grow beautiful asparagus. He brings them up. Literally, one is a meal. They're so big and beautiful, and they taste great. You see this? So let's go look at the tunnel. And what I was saying is he had to go yesterday, and he's going back today. One of the bags he got was the wrong one when he got home, and he has to go back and get a different, look at this. I'm afraid to walk in there without a hard hat. He's got to get a different bag of seed. They gave him the wrong seed, but we're buying now finch mix and parakeet mix in 50-pound sacks, and he's buying multiple sacks. We can't believe how much food we're going through, and if I stop, what are the birds going to do? They'll move on, but I feel for them because we're going to go into winter in the next month. Look at that. Look, it's got chayote squash. Now, he mentioned to me he may be doing a full harvest. If you're interested in watching him do the harvest, tell me, and then I can say, hey, I'm going to come down and just watch you do the harvest with my camera. So these are the totes, all off the ground. And this he can do really good in. I think he's got tomatillos. No. These are onions. He's got onions growing. Okay, I thought it was a tomatillo that fell in there. Look at, oh my gosh. I really have to get cracking and figure out what to do with these. Now, these are great. The chayote squash are wonderful. He's been slicing them up, frying them with a little butter, sauteing them, and they are just good. There's so much you can do with that. But this is the thing I've got to figure out, because these are just so big. And they're not bad to eat, but they're full of seeds. So you got to get rid of the seeds. It's not like zucchini and go take it out of the center and then keep cooking it. And it's wonder, oh, we're out. I didn't even know we're out. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Doesn't it look like a place that you definitely want to get a hard hat and walk through in case something falls? But I guess they don't fall. And then he's got more Malabar spinach through here. He's got red Swiss chard growing through here. He still has tomatoes. Mine are fizzling out too, but they're still growing. Look, he's got red tomatoes. He said here he goes through and he just eats, because I have so many in mine, so I pick them as I need them. And so with his gardening down here, I told him just forage and eat. Now these are grapes. He got some little tiny grape plants, so they're taking off. So this should do really good by next year. Look at, they're winding around. Isn't that something? All right, so I thought we'd start off something different, because I'm literally thinking of, let's just do a walkthrough on mine, but let's start the beginning off on this. And I don't hike down. See, there's the house. I don't hike down that often down here because I'm working in my garden, and I let him just do his thing. But like I said, get down here. He sometimes doesn't come down here for days, so it's kind of a surprise when he comes down here to see what he's got. But I thought it would be a different treat to just do a quick walkthrough. Can't tell you what everything is, because he's planting all kinds of stuff, and I think come spring he's got even more ideas. But see how he's lifted this? And that's what I wanted to show you. See this? These are pepper trees. Now he did plant that. Let's step out for a minute. And he feels that was the biggest mistake of his life. It was and it wasn't. He didn't know. Who knew? We had all these baby Brazilian pepper trees growing. And when we got this property, he planted them all the way along here for a wind block, because that's the canyon. And you need a wind block because the cold air would just take care of the garden in a negative way. So it worked out really good because they grew really fast. But the problem is, why did they grow fast? Because they can send their roots all the way down, far away, and take whatever they want. Here's an avocado tree. They could just take, and there's no way of getting rid of the roots unless you dig them down, but it's a constant battle. So that's what's going on here. So that's why he's upset. He planted them, though he took a lot of them down there. He's thinking of replacing these. So he has been putting other trees down here, and he's starting to do different things. So he might put a tree here and then take out, let's say, that one and that one. But the thing is, it's beautiful. And you know who loves them? The robins come in. in the early spring, and they start eating all the berries off of here because they throw like a berry. It's a pepper tree. Isn't it beautiful? Here, listen. You can't beat that. Just the birds singing. And there's my garden up there. Look at that. This is why I don't come down here. This is a major hike. So it's not like I come down here every day. Listen to this. This is so soothing and so beautiful. This is his junk pile. He thinks about cleaning it up. He gets wire. People throw things away. He brings it home. And then he builds things. So a few times he's thought about getting rid of his junk pile. And then there's times he thinks, well, I'll get rid of what I know I won't use. And then, you know, he'll keep what he wants. And he never knows. He's already thinking about a greenhouse right now. So he doesn't want to get rid of anything. It costs a lot of money. Boy, I mean, years ago, somebody was selling doors for $5 a piece, a store, because they were going out of business. And he, you know, took them home and he didn't know what to do with them. And now he's using doors. So that's the thing. You never know what you're going to use. But chain link, if he sees somebody throwing away chain link or giving it away, if they throw an old cage away or wire, you see it on the side of the road. I don't even know what that is. So if he sees it, he stops. He used to really pick up everything. And now he's starting to be a little more selective in his wiser years. Look at this. So see, that's my garden up there. And look at the hike. This is a hike. Isn't that beautiful? If I was a young kid, oh my gosh, I would have a tree house, the things I would do. I wasn't a tomboy, but I loved nature. Oh my gosh, wasn't climbing trees, but I could be more happy sitting under a tree and watching animals than anything else. And I have it now. And let me tell you something, there's times I come and I sit, look at the pile, and it's just so beautiful. I've got other friends like that just love nature. So here's the pots he's been getting, and they've been doing landscaping. I forgot how many trays he got, but it's over 100, probably close to 200. And then these are the pots. And there, I think I'm going to make a pepper garden. Now, why a pepper garden? We should talk about it when I do it. I won't have to come down all the time. He is planning on bringing water down because my garden up there has water. All he has to do is bring a PVC pipe and put a nozzle there and we'll have water. So that's his thought because he's got a lot of plants. He's almost thinking of making this a whole thing with bananas. So he's got a lot of plants. So let's see what happens because plans change and thoughts change. So that's what I see, something moving around. I'm not sure. It could be anything. This is where the deer and the coyote come up. Here we've had the deer all through here. We've had like a half a dozen deer and they'll hang around. I've had rabbits, have babies in this. That's why we leave it here. Here we have wildlife like native bees, not honeybees, but we have the horsefly like carpenter bee. They live in here and they're great pollinators. We have regular carpenter bees, the black ones. Oh, there's a lizard. And lizards, I love my lizards. I've seen the tiny babies. Here's a lizard. Because they mind me, they know us. This is more of a nature walk. I should do a nature walk. Used to do nature walks. I'm looking to see what's down here. Something walked through here, you can see. And the hoofs are quite big. I wonder if deer went through here. I'm not sure. And he used to go through all the birds, what they did. Here is there's a hummingbird coming down to see me. This is where we had the Cooper hawk nest for a couple years until one of our dear neighbors decided to dump a bunch of raccoons up here, which are still here, unfortunately. They climbed a tree and they wiped out mother and babies. And the male hangs around still periodically. He rebuilt the nest. Actually, I don't see it right now, but he did rebuild it. And I think he's still looking for a mate. So he's got to find a mate because, yes, you see a lot of these things pair for life. Oh, that's where his bees were. And you know what happened to the bees. I did the whole video. The bees are gone. He left the box. It's kind of dangling now. He's going to take it off. So we've got olive trees here. Not the type you would really eat. They're not that good, but he might swap them out or graft on them. And then we've got ficus trees. So what was I talking about? So anyways, we lost them. So they do pair for life as long as their mates and each other are alive. Now, when they lose a mate, they will go and find another mate, but he's got to find the male, another one that lost the male. So he hasn't found a single female yet. The backside of the chair garden, look at that. There's my turmeric up there. There is that basket he built. Those weeds are all broken down. They'll be ready to use in the spring. I don't need them right now. They're in the basket with the cardboard. And there's the truck bed. Thinking of redoing that. We'll see what happens in the spring. Aloe vera growing all through here. Sow thistle for the birds. And let's see what else. Shark fin melon. It left the truck bed. Mind you, I believe I only had one plant last year that I planted. One plant. Now it has taken off inside the truck bed. Look at that. I've got pomegranate there. And it's coming down in anywhere it's set root. If it still gets water at all, it doesn't dry out, it's going to continue to grow. But this really does bring the hummingbirds. They love the aloe vera. There is Prince. This is probably here, coyote. Though this could be deer. I'm not sure. So the deer might have come through. They haven't been eating anything. That's it. We are now back in my garden. Do I sound out of breath? Pretty much. Look at this. And yet I went slow. Okay. Robbie, you need a workout. So now we're on the top. And now I think we're just going to zip through. Not, like I said, I haven't done anything. So let's go down here. Gary parked the car here. I can't do much here because the raccoons come and swim and tear everything apart almost every night. Look at the pomegranates. We've been picking them and using them too. So it's kind of like until we figure out what we're going to do, I don't do much. Oh, I've got to get my tomatillos off. These are the purple ones. I freeze those. Let's see. I've got a squash plant left. It's trying. We'll see. I've got a squash I've got to pick off of that. I've been picking squash. The tomatoes are still growing. We'll see what makes it. You know, just leave it for the winter. Whatever makes it, makes it. Whatever doesn't, doesn't. Everything's the same. I moved my pepper out of the chair garden, and it's doing much better. It bursted back into life. A good trimming. I leave the tool there to kind of keep it warm right now. It's working really good. Let's do a spin around. And there's the chair garden. He's been slowly taking the wood chips. That's my favorite garden. It looks the same as last month, or I should say 2 weeks ago. That is one of my favorite gardens. Okay, let's see. And let's just do a walkthrough. Here I've got plants in the spring and here. Gonna clear all this out. I think I'm gonna put totes in there. I was gonna do potatoes because there's potatoes in there, but I think I'm gonna do sweet potatoes. Why? Because I've got a beautiful warm wall. I still have cucumbers growing. Look at this. There's one. They're all through here. There's one. I picked a whole bunch yesterday. I'll show you the pictures. And then I've got to get the beans off. I didn't get the green beans off, so now I've got tons of seeds. But that's okay, because you know what? These seeds growing here will probably grow even better than the original plant because it's used to it here. So I'm going to get those seeds picked. And then I'll probably do the same thing. I'll freshen that all up in the spring, and I'll get more cucumbers. In fact, there's a chance I could change my mind and put some more cucumbers there. We had such a bumper crop, and like I said, they're still growing. There's a ton of baby cucumbers underneath. As soon as I see them, I pick them when they have some size. This I never really got to, because this year we did so many other things. But look, I've got celery, Malabar spinach, more celery there, more celery. There's an eggplant there growing. I'm just debating on how I'm going to do this. But, you know, little by little, we took on a lot. Look at that. And I think I'll swing around and walk over here. Look at this, more shark fin melon. Yeah, maybe we'll do this because there's nothing new in the front yard. Here's the pizza garden, which is doing fantastic. And I keep saying I've got to take this off, and I've got to do this within the next couple days. Take some of my time off. Rosemary, I want to pack it up and make pizza, plastic bags in the freezer ready to make my pizza is what it is, kind of for pizza spices. So that's what my goal is. I've got sage. It's just growing so beautiful. Look at the peppers back here. I've been eating figs off of this tree. I can't believe I still have figs. The birds didn't find them all. Look at the peppers. So this was a pepper garden in my buckets, a vertical pepper garden. Now when the leaves fall here, it will get more sunlight. So it should do really good for the winter. And then in the summer, when it's really hot, look, I still have figs. Look, I gotta go come back and get a fig. Then it's covered and sheltered because it's just too hot for the peppers. This one I just uncovered a lot. And I've got peppers here too. And then I still have tomatoes. This is milkweed and it's blowing everywhere. And things I didn't know what they were, I think now are milkweed. I believe this is milkweed. Our whole yard is covered in monarchs. We're still early in the morning. Sun is just coming up. But I come out here and there are monarchs everywhere. Yesterday there were monarchs. So they're traveling around. Eggplant. My zinnias are dying back. I'll probably take those out eventually. But I'm going to collect all those seeds because that's how they're growing. I'm just throwing seeds around. Here is the setup I did. I have a whole video on that. I decided to cover this. These are the tops I make. Now these are old tops, but they're still holding up really good. I make them out of tote lids because we're going to go into winter and the odds are most of these will not make it, see, because it's going to be cold. But if I can keep it covered, I only want like 2 plants in here. Keep it sheltered. I think they'll stay dormant for the winter. They're up against the house. And then come spring, okay, I'm going to have to do this when I come back with 2 hands. Let me just leave it like that. Come spring, some of them will take off. Like I said, I only really want 2 plants. This one's a little easier to lift. Look at that. These are doing better than the other ones. Maybe they're a little bit warmer. Could be, but look at that one's taking off. These were tiny plants if you go back and look at the video. Super tiny, growing in a pencil box for like months. Then here, this pepper plant, I moved it from another tote. It wasn't doing good. Obviously, it's not going to make it. These may or may not. They also came out of a chair garden. Not the chair garden. They came out of the rainbow garden. I moved it here, but something's growing here. This could be zinnias. It could be anything. I'm not sure. It's not peppers. I know that. This is tomatoes coming up. Probably a tomato was in there or some seeds, so that's coming up. This is my favorite pepper. I'm just letting it do its thing. I'm going to pull it off, keep the seeds, and grow that probably in the spring and get them out. It's like a baby bell is what it is, and I love the flavor of it. And then these are the black cobras. This one came up from seed. So you got a whole bunch of black cobras. That's this one. This is not doing good. I have big plants that are like 3 years old doing really good. Potato mint, but at least it's all set up. Now it's just a matter of cleaning this up and setting up what I want in there. Look at all the peppers, both sides, just everywhere. I love it. That needs to come off. Now I really need to get them off because if I continue to take them off, they will continue to flower, especially if I give them compost tea, which is coming out of this. Just like I did the worm farm video, you should see that. I just did it and covered it. This I planted in instead, but all that water comes out and I've been giving it to the peppers. And let me tell you something, the peppers know. So that's it for here. And then I'm propagating different plants like geraniums. I've got a, look at this, a zucchini that just decided to start growing. Isn't that gorgeous? Got onions back there. Got onions there, potatoes there in the dish pans. And then my junk. We're kind of cleaning up and changing things around. You'll probably see it on the next garden tour because you're saying, why is that here? Well, I think you'll see in 2 weeks why we piled all this stuff here because there is a change. Let's go this way. The fruit trees are doing good too. See, and that's where we just came up from. That was the hike we just did. And that's it. Now we're in the bird garden and we're going backwards. Why would you leave your plant where you have to walk into it? Because I don't want to cut it until I'm ready to propagate it. I love this plant. It's so purple. I put it in all my green drinks. I use it for a lot of different things. If I'm making pasta, let's say a cold salad, I'll go ahead and chop some of it up. It's just fantastic. Let's kind of get through here quick because nothing has changed in here. I'm doing more cleaning and removing leaves. I'll see this is removing itself. So I've got to cut those, take most of the leaves off, and with my Dremel, I've got to get back here and pop some more in there so I can get them growing because the ones I planted are starting to take off, which is a really good thing. Here are my potatoes. I'm going to have to do a potato harvest. Here's a volunteer tomato that is doing so good. I left it in with my potatoes because I think I'd really like to have that. I've got brassicas coming up. Haven't done anything there. See, I'm still collecting leaves. This I did do. All these have been redone. These are all growing walking onions. I went around, collected all the baby walking onions that are no longer babies, and then I'm leaving the spray millet, or this is probably just plain white millet, because I'll pick that and I'll give it to the wild birds. More walking onions, sweet potatoes. Let's keep going. And I'm working on fountains, just kind of changing things around. I really need to trim the flowers because let me show you this. This is amazing. I propagated this. And this is beautiful. This is the hummingbird's lunch. This was a small plant and look how beautiful it is. It's doing so well. I want to leave it there. Here's a little papaya that had come up. I want to move that somewhere. Purslane is coming up. More onions, walking onions. I'm still doing more propagating of different types of geraniums. Look at this. Can you believe this? I have to get this out. This is a tree collar. Look, look, look. Up, up, up. Just in this little tiny thing. How small it is. Is that amazing? And it's all the way up here. It's about, gosh, it's close to 3 foot tall. So the birds I've been setting up and doing different things in here. The trough, still thinking if I'm going to move it later. Okay, good. He got all the dragon fruit off. And the hummingbird is here. Because there was so much that I said, you need to pick them and we're going to have to freeze them or do something with them. Oh, it opened this morning. This is a volunteer. This is the one that I had in the back over there in a pot. See how it came up in a pot here? And it's from the bird seed here. So a bird came, was eating in here and pooped. And this bird must have been eating some seeds off of the Indian blanket flower. And it pooped a seed and the seed grew and I'm so excited. Is that not one of the most beautiful flowers? Especially it came up on its own. Here is some more dinosaur kale back here. You might have seen the video I did that. And then, oh, look at this. Chocolate mint all over the ground. Lemon verbena. Keep in mind, these totes down here are about 8, 9 years old. Still going strong. And that tomato plant is going. Tommy the tomato didn't do anything. But we gave it a good life. And it grew in there. Now we're going to give something else a good life that will do something. Kind of tipping, isn't it? And there's the dragon fruit. And we had just come up. Let's walk through here real quick. Still throwing my garbage in there. And then I'm going to compost in here and do something in the spring. Let's go open this up. Got tomatoes. The tomatillos are done. So I've been picking them. And I've got a couple left in here. And I'm freezing them. And this still has another month or two before I take it all down. And this year I have to get to it because I lost a few of the gingers because it got too wet. Like I'm telling you, we're supposed to get a rainstorm coming in for the next 4 or 5 days. And if I left it and we were really cold, it would all rot. So what I'm going to do when I know these all start to die back, I'll know all the nutrients went back into the rhizomes. That's when I'm going to go through, collect it all. And I'll show you how I do it and how I'm going to store it for all winter to either eat or to grow later. And that's it. Let's zip around here. This has been wonderful. We're going to talk about this. Look at more zinnias. Nothing's been changed here, but I am working up here. And that's going to be something separate because this is something anybody can do anywhere. And we're going to get more into that later. I've got to get my little bee house put somewhere else too. And that's it. There's nothing going on in the secret garden, so I don't think I'm going to hike down there. I think we've gone through everything. So we did a quick zip. I was going to do a 10-minute zip through. There's no way to do Gary's garden in 10 minutes. Look at that. That flower really stands out. So I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, right now it's the holiday season. I think I need to take a breath. We all do. A lot of stuff going on all over the world. Step back, try to enjoy the holiday season. And then come the beginning of the year, we're really going to get into this. I'll come back in 2 weeks and show you what's going on because we are doing a lot behind the scenes. In other words, you can't see what we're doing, but we are doing a lot. I know a lot of you are saying we just want to see. Here's the problem. Gary's got a project down here in the secret garden. Could be the hidden garden. And he needs to do this because this is still too loose. So I can't really walk down here. But there it is. So once he gets this established, I'll be able to walk. I used to come back here and sit here because this has got the most spectacular view. And there's Gary's garden down there. We made a full circle all the way around the property. And isn't that beautiful? So I hope you enjoyed this. Look at the sky is changing. The weather is changing as we do this. And the birds are flying all around me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Ask questions, leave comments. I really do go back later and I read them. A lot of times you'll be surprised to see I answered. It's just me and Gary. But I want you to leave comments because this really keeps us going. And if you can like and subscribe, that really does help our channel. I'm going to talk more about, there's merchandise sometimes that shows up underneath. I'm not asking anybody to buy. You buy if you want. But just so you know, we'll talk more about that. That's my artwork. So we'll talk about that another time. Because I know a lot of you are, you know, money's tight right now and it's hard. And the most important thing for me and Gary is to get you to garden. Because to get some good food into you is the healthiest, most important thing for everybody and for your family. So we'll talk more about that. So with that, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Isn't it beautiful? It's so early, the sun just came up. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. And I know Zoe is waiting for me. Geraniums everywhere. You can't stop them. They grow like a weed. Bless them. I love that. I just finished doing the garden tour. I'm rushing through to collect some greens. Isn't this beautiful? Moringa, different brassicas, celery. I'm going to grab some lemon verbena. Look, we have the dragon fruit flower. I missed it. It's going to open because it just got suddenly dark. And this has been crazy. Oh, I'm going to get mint, and then I'm going to get some lemon verbena. I just came out here and I found a whole bunch of house finches fighting over the wire. Like they were getting their space ready where they're going to sit, their spot, when the rain comes in. I mean, they were all quarreling. I've never seen that before, but look how quickly it changed. They said it's gonna rain, we've got a storm for days. So I finished just in time. Now, I'm gonna stay healthy and go make a green drink. Zoe, I just collected greens. Look, it's raining. Is this your first rainstorm? I think it is. And it's been thundering. Look at that, it is now raining. Boy, did I get this done just in time. And you want to know something funny? I actually welcome the rain. Why? I can work on other things. Look at her toys. And I can just let nature water my plants for now. Look at this. I don't think she's ever seen rain. It's like, why is everything wet? Everything's wet. Zoe, what is it? She can't figure out why the ground is wet. Now I can get my projects done under the gazebo. And maybe I can even do some of my projects with you. I can't believe I got it done just in time. I mean, literally. Oh, if I string some wire under the gazebo, the hummingbirds can come under here too. Right now they have no place to perch. She's not sure. She's barking at the rain. Yeah, get some Christmas lights in the center and they can sit under here. That's a good idea. Thanks. See, sometimes I don't think of things unless I'm looking and talking at the same time. She doesn't know what's going on. At least it's warm. I would say it's about 60. Yeah, I'm gonna get some Christmas lights here. It doesn't matter if I plug them in or not. Ow, I bought some more of these. I think I will string some down the middle and that gives them a place to perch. Good idea. Maybe we'll come back and see after I'm all done. Or I'll let you know if they perched under the rain. But I'm gonna get that done now. Cool. How beautiful. Okay, Zoe, let's go in. I'm done with the garden tour completely. I'm gonna go make a green drink. Not for you.